Boston told me that he gonna preach from back there. He said he gonna work the on screen. He ain't gonna let them mess up no words for him. He ain't gonna be looking at no wrong words for him. He go Boston. Oh, he got
happy birthday, Jordan. Y'all see Jordan?
Yeah, happy birthday, Jordan! Happy birthday! Got him a drum cake and everything, ain't it? You like a drum cake? I know make it pick it up, don't want to eat it. Make it pick it up, don't want to beat it, want to eat it.
That cake look good though.
Hey, do you saying that?
It reminds me of the cake on Barney.
Barney?
I always wanted to eat the cake on Barney.
Barney had a cake?
They had a cake that he never ate it.
On Barney? I don't like shows like that. I hate I hate shows when folks trying to eat. I always look at the food saying eat. Then they'll be talking, they'll be like, and so even like, eat the damn thing. I'm hungry. Maybe eat stuff. Be like, where they get that stuff? You know, be honest though, it's food like regular food. This shit be on that show. You be like, I want to eat that. That's different than what I be. And what is that? And they won't eat it. And that jump make me. And then somebody get pissed and get that napkin and throw it down on the food and walk out. I be like, what the hell? Eat the cake, anime. You're like, why won't you eat? Don't mess up food because I'm at home. You hungry at home. You don't be hungry till you sit there. You be like, man, then they go to some exquisite restaurant. Somebody inside, they be like, no, just take it back. Like, hey, you better eat that. What's wrong with you? And they just check. You like, check. You didn't even eat nothing. How many of y'all get aggravated with stuff like that? I don't like stuff. So Barney had a cake.
He had a cake, preacher.
Every show.
Not every show, but like when they had birthdays.
Birthdays.
And the cake that they brought out, it was just like, it was beautiful. Yeah, it was purple. Sometimes it was green and white. But they never ate it. They always start dancing, and I get mad.
I ain't know you human. He ain't the only one. How many of y'all get mad? How many of y'all want to eat that cake on Barney?
And then the food off Martin when he was on a diet.
Martin had food?
Oh, yeah.
He went on a diet before? Yeah. Martin scared me sometimes.
It's all right, please. It's okay.
How many of y'all think Martin, you know what got me with Martin? You view the rest of it. I'll get it.
I'm going to use this. I'm not going to be long.
I don't know. Depending on you, because sometimes they get hit. I mean, you don't want to, then you can. Think about it. Depending on, you ain't got to hold that. So then, Martin, the only thing pissed me off with Martin, this for me, though, the fact he was actually imitating Flip Wilson. See, I grew up on Flip. Hold on for a minute. How many of y'all grew up with Flip Wilson? Flip was a genius. Well, Flip Wilson a genius. Him and Geraldine, hell, I thought Geraldine was a real woman.
Flip Wilson, Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, all them Richard.
I want to do a challenge. Listen.
He said, who you challenging? Who you saying?
Listen, I am a man of East that's entitled to my own opinion. If you don't like it,
if it's wrong,
what?
Like Chris, when his daddy was laying on his back, he said he beat Joe Lewis because Joe Lewis was still standing up.
I tried. I watched at least 5 Richard Pryor stand up. And listen, preacher. When I say
which one?
I tried to laugh.
Which one?
Like the first, pick one.
Sunset Boulevard.
We can do this. I said let's do this.
Mudbone.
I said let's do this, because this is what I say. When you said Steve Harvey wasn't funny,
Steve Harvey not funny.
I was like, that's tight. That's real tight.
Steve Harvey funny, y'all? Are y'all serious? He looks like Richard Pryor. That's it. If I laugh at him, it because you look like Richard Pryor.
I just say put. I challenge y'all to go just sit down and watch a Richard Pryor stand-up comedy like right now.
He good. He had his own variety show. That was good. Y'all remember that?
I just want to do a laugh count.
Man, bust that gut. Yeah.
Dave Chappelle funny than Richard Pryor.
Dave Chappelle funny. But that's because he's ugly. It's hard to beat ugly people. Ugly people funny. Because you looking, they don't know you laughing at them, and anything kind of mouth is funny. He got that ugly. You got to have like Robert Williams. Not Robert Williams. What's the other one? The fat. Not Robert Williams. The black guy. That's the same thing. He done got married.
Robert Williams is the white guy. Robert Williams is the black guy.
What's the black one? Robert Harris. Robert Harris was funny. Baby Kid. That's all he had going. That Baby Kid he was not going to be the greatest ever on the white. All he had was Baby Kid. And he looked, Bernie Mac is funny. He was funny when he first started out. When he first started out with the tore-up jeans and all, he was funny, then they get that Hollywood stuff. Chris Tucker, funny. He's from Columbia High School, Decatur, Georgia.
Chris Tucker, yeah, he's funny.
Yeah, he was funny. He got fouler now. It's hard to stay funny like that. Cat Williams. Decent. Mike Epps funny. He just never be a goal. He's a great follow-up, like second man lead. He can't hit his own shot. Give him his own lead. That's right. That's how they do it. He one of them kind of niggas. They don't never give you no lead. You'll think you're the leader, but you ain't. But he still made that money though. Ernie, you funny. If he want to be, Ernie can be funny.
I think you want to stick a birdie.
I did too. You didn't want to shoot no bird at your rod with you. I was just asking. We don't know unless we ask. So yeah, but there's some people funny, but Richard Pryor is original. Richard was a great. All them guys failed. Eddie who? No, that's true though. That's true. All my stuff original. I had 900. I had a 999. 999. How you do a million? What's less than a million? 1 million. I had $1 million of them. But then I came straight out at 999,000. Them nines. Hold on, write that down. I had write the number right. What that number? This number. $1 million. It's when you take that number and mess me up. I had 999,999. Do something don't look right. How much? No, create them +1. And that equals. That's what I had. So we got the number right now. So everybody good. All right, we're gonna go. Yeah, I can tell you want to sit down? Or you gonna fall down? Hello? Okay, the ground ain't gonna be shaking like a slinky. He walked downstairs, the lonely.
I'm not laughing.
I ain't either. I'm hoping. Y'all all right? I know he be shaking like a lawnmower every now and then. I can tell you. Now y'all know what? Don't say that though. We appreciate two of our oldest distinguished members, Uncle Ted and Aim Smith. It's good to have them too. It really is. We love what we do. We appreciate having y'all. What is social distance? I thought that thing was social justice. That's a safety mask, social. That's what dangerous. She got a mask that says social distancing, but in order to read it, you got to get real close to it. Why would you do that? Why would you go get a mask that draw people to you?
That's your mama.
I know it, but the mask. Who is that masked woman? Y'all remember Lone Ranger? Hold on a second. How many of y'all know who this is? Come on for a second. Come on. Hold it for me. Come on.
I told you I don't get the mic back.
No, he don't get it. Look at him. How many of y'all know who this is? Now y'all don't know who this is. Who is that masked man? What kind of shit is that? They messed us up. How we don't know who he is? Lone Ranger, mouth, forehead, all this shit. Are you serious? Are you serious? Because you got an Indian with you, we don't know who you are? But it fooled you like that. People be playing with our emotions. I'm going to get ready and get out the way. Y'all sleep on it. Y'all sleep on it. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Also, where was Humpback at?
He was on a date.
How many of y'all text? I gotta move it. Why was this man like he was missing? They couldn't find him man nowhere in the earth. They called me. He said, I'm trying to help somebody. I said, what? He said, Humpback missing. I said, what? He said, Boston can't find him. They've been looking for him. He missing. Nobody can. I said, you serious? I said, hold. I got him. I click. I said, yeah. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. I said, humpback. He said, yeah, why everybody text me trying to find me? I'm out on a date. I said, you hang this phone up. You call Basta right now. Don't you? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to hang this phone up and you call him right now. That man had everybody word today. He wanted that. I know he was loving that. How many of y'all would text him looking for him? All you a lot. His ass walking around here made up a day. Trying to get a time to you see you don't pick me. I'm real busy. This phone just going off the whole time. Yeah. I know they were doing. I know that stuff. I gotta get out the way though. We'll talk about it later. Hallelujah. Give Mr. Boston a hand clap. Sharon Boston.
I used to talk about everybody older than me in the Baptist church. Yep. How everybody doing?
All right.
All right. Glad to be alive.
Yes, sir.
We could have been mute. Oh, God, dog it. I said mute. We also could have been mute.
That's true.
Right? We could not have been speaking, you know?
That's right.
I really wanted that mic today because I don't want to be up here long. I needed the mic. But let me ask y'all a question. How many people know why we're here?
You're saved.
I mean, today. Purym. That's a good question. That's a good answer, Chris. For Purym, does anybody know why we're here for Purym?
Rest
For
me.
my enemies. Rest for my enemies. Let me ask y'all a question. Did we truly get rest from our enemies? Huh? Because y'all think about it, when we fought against Haman and the Agagites, right? The only people that we overcame was just the Agagites.
Right.
But we still didn't overcome captivity.
That's right.
So did we truly get rest?
Right.
No.
Right.
But what were we fighting for?
Freedom.
We was fighting to be alive. We was fighting to not be taken advantage of, right? You can be in a state of captivity but still not be overtaken by be taken advantage of. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So as we start talking about the book of Hadassah, they call it a star. I'm a very analytical person. So I like to do my research on what I'm studying or what I'm looking at. The reason being because I always like to give everybody a reasonable answer when somebody is to come up to you and ask you, what is Purym? Right? What is Purym? So I'm gonna do stuff just a little bit different today. Hopefully not be before you long. A lot of things I'm gonna talk about. Hopefully you guys can go back and look up. But I want to give as much information as I can, because one thing that I thought about when we had rest, did we truly have rest and we were still in captivity? In our book, in our Sefer, do you guys realize how many captivities we were under? We was under a lot of captivities, right? The reason why we was under a lot of captivities because we didn't want to obey the true maker, Elohim, his rules and his regulations. Therefore, he sold us to the enemies. Can you imagine being sold to the enemy? Can you imagine you selling your children to another mother or to another father because they disobey? Right? But then say, when you get grown, I'm going to come back and get you. Is that fair? Because maybe the nurturing that I'm bringing you up in is not working. It's not working. One thing that you all have to realize, and why I fight so hard, and why I believe what I believe, because deep down in my blood, right, I got a crazy kind of theory. deep down in my blood, deep down in your blood, somebody was a slave back then, and they made it to have you be alive today. Because think about it. If your generation had died off, you wouldn't have been alive. So somewhere deep down in your generations and your heritage, you had someone fighting to be alive, yet still in captivity. Deep down in your blood, you had somebody know how to make a way, how to get by, yet how to still work, and yet still be strong enough to be alive to be right here on this soil today. So whenever time I feel weak within myself, I know I will let down somebody deep down in my generations. I will let them down. Because somebody fought for you to be here today. You didn't just pop up right here. There was a lot of tears, there was a lot of beating, there was a lot of suffering. And if your forefathers was rich, it definitely passed down to you because we right here together. I mean, it ain't nothing not known, but just know that deep down somewhere in your heritage, someone kept fighting. In any race, in every race, right? So when people say, hey, on the application they ask me, am I white? Yes, I am white. I'm mixed. Who tell me I'm not white? Who's to tell you you're not black? Because you get technical, the book said we all made of one dom. At the end of the day, you get what I'm saying? And so it's very interesting when you start studying the book and you start realizing, well, man, I always want to know, in my situation, I know nobody past my dad. On my dad's side, I can't tell you who's my granddad. I can't tell you who was his father, right? But how many people can trace their generations back? At least 3 generations. Raise your hand. Jones, Lanita, Damon, Justin. Let me ask you something. Jones, how could you trace your generation? Like what was given to you to know the generations back? Information from your elder. What information did they give you? Did they give you occupations? They gave you some things they did good. In society, not really. Right. Okay. Damon, how do you know? Your great-grandmother you used to talk to, and she sat down and she rehearsed and she gave you information. Not jobs. A lot of us, when you're dealing with history, the only way you can really know about yourself is if you know somebody that made it back. And you kind of see their occupation and kind of see the things that they went through. The reason that I ask that, because us as society, you have to make a decision within yourself that not only you're going to make your stake and your claim here in society, but most of all, give a pathway for the future. If you don't have a child, you still should be able to reach a child to pass something on to them. You don't have to necessarily be biologically with this child in order to give them information and knowledge. One thing that I think that we don't take advantage of as a people, we don't tell our children our negative behavior. We hide it from our children, right? Your dad was a gambler. Your dad was a drunk. We hide that from our children and we give them the good information. But I encourage you to share those things with your child so they can understand if this is a repeated behavior, I will not be doomed to repeat it. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Because deep down in your blood, it's just something about it. You're going to repeat the same thing. We don't know why, but we do it. We do it. I don't know, man. I just like women, man. I'm a single man like all the women. So I tell my child, hey, listen, man, this was your dad's behavior. Don't follow what I did because it will land you up here. We don't do that as a people. Because what we do and what we deal with, we take it to the grave.
Yeah.
But how is that helping your generation succeed?
Not.
It's not. It's not. The reason that I say that because the Aki, we went on a fishing trip, and we sat by the waterside. Ain't that right? And we had like some conversations, and I was explaining how, man, I realized what was my problem, because I find out some things about my life that I never knew. When you find out things about your life that you never knew, it hurts, but it brings clarity inside us to the fact that why you're here and what you need to do. Constantly we come in and out that door. What do you take with you? What are you coming here for at the end of the day? Right? If you're not taking the information with you and not using it, you're wasting your life. Do you understand when you're dealing with Purym that they fought to save their generation? And Mordaki told Hadassah, if you don't save your people at this time, we are going to perish. Y'all follow what I'm saying? One thing I like about history when I read the book, not only at that time what was going on in Shushan, that they had history going on, but there was many things going on outside of history. But at that point in time, it was not talking about the Yahudim as a whole. Y'all understand what I'm saying? At that time, it was not about Yasharal as a whole. At that time, it was talking about right now, our family in this place, in Shushan, if you don't do what you do, our generation will perish. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And the reason that I say that because you guys got to look deep down inside and say, you know what, I need to find out about myself. I need to ask my parents tough questions. Because maybe I don't want to repeat the same thing. And you know what happens sometimes? The same bad habits you have, your parents say, man, I should do the same thing. Why you ain't tell me? Why you gonna waste my time in my life when I could be doing something beneficial to say I'm not gonna repeat this same act? I'm gonna keep going, right? But sometimes you gotta learn lessons on your own. It's sad, and I don't like a lot of older people for that. Not older people as far as like this, but when I say older people, a lot of older people they hide their stories, and in their stories, right? In their stories are a reason why we act the way we act today.
Yeah.
Today we're fighting to be free. We're fighting to be free today, but we go to the wrong doors. Right now, if we get gunned down and killed, who do we go to?
Police.
The police. To do what? The police are not lawyers. Right? Then you try to go to Ben Crump. You can't go to Ben Crump because your case is not big enough for me to be publicized. Right? Do you know the highest law in the land right now? Huh? No, who fights for the people? Not the Supreme Court, not the DA. Attorney General. But who does the Attorney General work for? The state. It's a department, you guys. There you go. The Department of Justice. The Department of Justice. The reason I'm bringing to you all's attention, because when we dealing with Purym, when we was going through a situation, do you not know, Chris, you get it, get the book of Hadassah, chapter 4 at verse 1. Because when we were dealing with situations, who did we go to? We went to who they call Ahasuerus, right?
Right.
In order for him to avenge us and to help save us, right? let's do this. Let's put it in context. Let's put it in context. We're gonna start off at the book of Esther, chapter 1, at verse 1. Because I want y'all to get some history and know what you're doing and why you're doing it and what was going on. Hope the thing stay open because I need it. This is the book of Esther, chapter 1, at verse 1. Listen to this first.
Now it came to pass in the Yamim of Ahasuerus, this is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India unto Cush.
Okay. Now right here, you're dealing with Ahasuerus, right? If you look up Ahasuerus, you will not find a name in Google, right? Because there was not a king, there was not a Malak that was named Ahasuerus. I want y'all to know that for a fact first. Because if you go out and you tell people Ahasuerus was the king, they're going to look at you like you were stupid and ignorant, right? Because Ahasuerus was in the who rule. What rule? Persian. Mm-hmm. It was under Persian captivity. I might want to write this stuff down. So later on, y'all could be able to at least know in the world you're talking about, or you could build upon a foundation. You understand what I'm saying? So Ahasuerus, they're considered Ahasuerus, but you see what the word is written right here. Huh? They got it, and it came to pass after these things in the days of Artaxerxes, right? Because Artaxerxes was actually a name that was actually in history, right? Not Ahasuerus. And if you look up the name Artaxerxes, especially at the time, you'll realize the times are not in order. Artaxerxes could not have ruled through this time, right? So I know y'all heard Chris say that it was a title. You was mixing.
Yeah.
What was you referring to, Chris?
I knew either Artaxerxes or Ahasuerus. It was one of them. Wasn't the name.
It was a title.
Right.
Right. Artaxerxes. Do y'all know what that means? Son of Xerxes. Nah. Tim, go pull up. Let's go to Blue Letter Bible. To shorten the time, because I know y'all want to get to Zamar and eating. To shorten the time, Artaxerxes means Lion King. Oh, shoot. I mean, he say, what? Type in Artaxerxes, Lion King. Just type in. Let's get straight to the point. There you go. And go down. This should say 1-0. There you go, right there. It'll say 1-0. It'll say 1-0. But to get to the point of what I'm saying, so you understand why sometimes they'll make movies and you never know why they call them movies that they call them, why they call them, what's the purpose or what's behind it. There's so many hidden meanings of stuff, but when you actually get into our safari, you will find out there's some history, like, what in the world? Where did this come from? Right? Did y'all find it? Did y'all find it all? Go down. The last line? No, go down. Where's that, Austin? Help him out. Go up a little bit.
Right there.
There you go. There you go. There you go. So y'all see why that says Persian Shir Shah, which actually means Lion King. Right? Lion King, they're considered Lion King because, you know, lion is the king of the jungle. But in Persian rule, that's what they all consider themselves, Lion King. We're the height of it. So when they name these movies, there's also meanings behind certain movies, and they push out their doctrine of how we're going to have things roll, and you don't even know it yourself. Right? So I don't want to get too deep in this, but let's go back out. I just want to show y'all what the meaning of Artaxerxes means. Now, one of the rulers throughout that time, if we're going to put Hadassah, Esther, Mordecai in a certain time period, it will actually fall within the time period of Xerxes. Mm-hmm. Xerxes.
Right.
So that's actually the time period. So now I question within certain Greek writers, why do you put Artaxerxes if Xerxes ruled during that time, right? And so that's when I get on my quest to keep going, right? That's just me. But the reason I want to know, because I want to put things into context, because there's a reason why things was written in a certain time period during the Safar. You see, Artaxerxes means great warrior or lion king, right? Great warrior or lion king. So there were certain characters that was in the book of Estar, and what were their meaning? The book of Estar, the Abari name for a star is Hadassah or Hadass, all for short, which means what? Myrtle. It means myrtle, right? It means myrtle, a myrtle tree. Now, you know what we use for myrtle? Huh? Booths. Exactly, we use it for booths. And they got one interesting fact about it when you think about myrtle, right? One pruning aspects that they have of myrtle is, you know what form? Is a fire. That's one pruning aspect of myrtle is fire, right? So if they named her Hadassah, right, in order for her to be pruned, in order for us to live, she actually had to go before the who? The Malak, and almost be put in position of what? Being killed or to be burned. You get what I'm saying? Or put through a process of her being hurt. You understand what I'm saying? So when you start looking into these names, it's interesting. It's an interesting thing. But let's go back to the book of, let's go back to it. This Artaxerxes ruled over 127 provinces from India. And those, I mean, when Malak Artaxerxes was on the throne in Susa, so it's not called Shushan, it's called Susa, right? Which falls in, I think it's the capital of Iran. Yes, it falls in the capital of Iran. This Susa, the palace, right? And in Shushan, some of the original artifacts is still there to this day. In Shushan, in Susa, right? Now they do show you the tombs of Mordecai and Hadassah. I don't know if they really in there.
That's right.
Cause I don't understand how you can walk dead up in there.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? You walk up to it, but when you talk about Musa tomb or B tomb, you can't even get in the gates, right? But one thing also you need to know, that the Greeks hated the Persians.
That's right.
You know why they hate the Persians?
They defeated them.
They defeated them. So think about who writes our books. The Greeks.
Greeks, that's right.
Remember this, always remember this. He who wins writes the history books. Mm-hmm. You always got to remember that. Because if I defeat you, you're dead. Who are you to tell the story? Right? He who wins write the history books. So therefore, when Yahusha passed, he's not the one going to tell the story, but those people that saw him and that believed on him are going to know the true story. Right? So you got to think the enemies, when they give you a story, you got to put things in context. Right? I write not this that you be ignorant, but I just want to give you some information for you to consider. Right? If I beat your father up, like right now, Chris say his granddaddy beat Joe Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Who can defend that? Kashi got it. Kashi say, shut your mouth. Only thing you can go on is what you believe inside. But Chris' granddaddy was spitting facts.
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, in our mind say, you know what, your granddaddy ain't here, Chris, neither is Joe Lewis. But he's a liar. I'm just saying, he who is here writes the history books. Also, what you got to realize, when there's a blank part in history, this is a time to insert something. Yep. That's what you got to realize. So when you're dealing with books and history and timeline, if you don't have your stuff in order and somebody sits you down, they'll throw you all off. Because they'll say, what dynasty are you referring to? Then you got to sit back and you're like, what in the world?
That's right.
Right? So when we're talking about this, read it in 3, Chris. Whoever has it.
In verse 3?
In verse 3.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
In the 3rd year of his reign,
Yes.
he made a muhad unto all his serene and his.
So now, true historians, when you start talking 3rd year of his reign, you got to write that down. Right? Because the 3rd year of his reign, I got to see where that fall in the totality of history.
That's right.
But I'm just telling you when you're really trying to get into it. You get what I'm saying? Because when you start to research and learn, you got to know where you stand today because it could be these could have been put in and thrown off. Continue, Chris. I'm sorry.
He made a muhad unto all his serene and his abadim.
Yep.
The power of Para and Media, the nobles and serene of the provinces being before him.
Yep.
When he shewed the riches of his glorious Malkuth.
Did he say Medes and Persians?
It says Persians and Media.
Medes and Persian. Uh-huh.
When he shewed the riches of his glorious Malkuth and the kabod of his excellent majesty.
At chapter 2. At chapter 2. At chapter 2. And so this thing kind of had you all messed up, right? And there's no way I couldn't have had my stuff written down, but slide up to chapter verse 3, verse 4. Okay, start at verse 5, Chris. This is the book of Hadassah, or Star, chapter 2 at verse 5. Listen to this first.
Now in Shushan the palace there was a certain Yehudi.
There was a certain Yehudi
whose Shem was Mordaki.
Whose name was Mordachius.
The being of Jair.
Yes.
The being of Shemiah.
Yes.
The being of Kish.
Yes.
A Benjamite.
Yep.
Who had been carried away.
So he was of the tribe of who? Benjamin. Right? It didn't say he was the tribe of Yehuda. It just said he was a Benjamin. Right? Who had been brought
from Jerusalem with the captivity, which had been carried away with Yekaniah Malak of Yehuda, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the Malak of Babylon, had carried away.
So now, what time frame is this? So right.
It's after Nebuchadnezzar.
It's after Nebuchadnezzar, but he actually was brought in
with
right. that captivity.
Right.
Y'all follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So now it's telling you which Nebuchadnezzar, Malak of Babylon, had carried into what?
Captivity.
Captivity. Right? So now we have a place for him in history if we look it up.
Right.
Y'all follow what I'm saying? Now we got to see why was he carried into captivity and what knowledge did Mordaki or Mordecai take with him.
Right.
Because this will give you information on how he should operate in
captivity.
Captivity. There you go. There you go. There you go. And so when you actually put things into context, right? The crazy thing about it, Ezra falls where in the book? Towards the back.
Yeah.
But you know, Ezra wrote about prior to Nebuchadnezzar all the way at the end.
Came out.
And when they came out. So he wrote it the whole way. Right? Sharaf Leon, I want you to give me Yirmiyahu chapter 29. Chris, I want you to read that verse 4 again. Y'all some homework around this joke. Come tell you what, if you don't write this stuff down, you won't never know the history. And I can tell you whatever y'all, I can tell y'all off the top of my head. You won't even know it. You won't know it. Read, nah. Dang, I only got 2 screens. Nah, go ahead and get Yirmiyahu chapter 29. Chris, you just read, what's the name?
Which verse?
The verse 4 again. And a star.
Verse 5?
Verse 4.
4? Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Verse 4.
And let the maiden which pleases the Malak be Malkah instead of Vasti. And the thing pleased the Malak, and he did so.
Yep.
Now in Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Yehudi, whose Shem was Mordaki,
Mordaki.
the ben of Jair,
Yes.
the ben of Shemi,
Yes.
the ben of Kish,
Yes.
a Benyamite,
At Benjamite.
who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity, which had been carried away with Jeconiah,
Yep.
Malak of Yehuda, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the Malak of Babylon,
He carried away.
had carried away.
There you go. This is the book of Yirmiyahu, chapter 29, at verse 1. Listen to this first.
Now these are the Dabarim of the letter that Yirmiyahu the Nabi sent from Jerusalem unto the residue of the Zakanim, which were carried away captives, and to the Kohanim, and to the Nabaim, and to all the whom Nebuchadnezzar had carried away captive from Jerusalem to Babylon. After that, Jeconiah the Malak and the Malkah and the eunuchs, the Shari of Yehuda and Jerusalem, and the carpenters and the smiths were departed from Jerusalem.
So y'all realize this is the same time.
Yep.
This is the same time. So the same time Mordaki was carried away, right? This is the same time that Yirmiyahu was talking about.
That's right.
Y'all follow what I'm saying? So now you have somebody who's giving you information that's going into a captivity, how you ought to operate in captivity. Right? The reason why this is important because some of y'all are so, you are a servant of sin and really don't know how to get out of sin.
That's right.
Because you don't have instructions on how to leave that captivity of the sin that you are committing. Right?
Yes, sir.
Which you'll understand just a little bit later. But this is, continue. What verse you at, Lee?
Verse 3.
Verse 3.
By the hand of
Hold on, tell me, y'all trying to find it? Okay, so when you're dealing with the Septuagint, sometimes they throw chapters, and they just throw chapters where they see fit. It should fit in the whole book of Sefer. That's how Greeks always did it. They operated, right? So it's up to those guys in the back to find out, let that match with this. If you go to Esther chapter 1, and we go to it on this, it starts off with the story of Haman. It don't start off with how it started off here. But it's up to scribes to go in and say, no, this goes here, this goes there. Right? So the reason why we use King James, as they call it, because if you use, a lot of people use NIV version, right? But do you know that NIV version is missing total passages? I mean, they just X it out. And if you go on the internet, it shows you this is not in the original text, which is true. Why is it true, Bostic? Because do you not know what a manuscript is? Huh? A manuscript is a copy of something, right? So whatever they copied from, that was not in that. That doesn't mean it's not in the original text. It's just not in the copy on which they took it from. So who are you to X stuff out? That's why I don't read the NIV. But a lot of churches, they do read the NIV. And it X out some important verses and scriptures altogether. Did we find it yet, y'all? We ain't found it yet? Yeah, it's going to be tight, y'all. So we ain't going to be able to use that because it gets kind of hard. But I want y'all to read in Yirmiyahu 29 with Leon at. Leon, what verse you at?
verse 3.
At verse 3,
By the hand of Elisah, the ben of Shaphan,
Yep.
and Jeremiah, the ben of Hilkiah, whom Zedekiah, Malak of Yehuda, sent unto Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar, Malak of Babylon, saying,
Yep.
Thus said Yahuwah of Sabot, the Elohim of Yasharal, unto all that are carried away captive, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon.
That's right.
Build ye houses and dwell in them,
Yep.
and plant gardens and eat the pari of them.
Y'all see what he said? He telling what you to do in captivity. He's telling you to build houses.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
So when you think captivity, you think we all were slaves. Right? But we still have freedom of reign. We just, technically, this is captivity.
Yeah, that's right.
Y'all got to realize, even though they say you're free, you're still in captivity.
Yep.
Because you can't move freely out of this country without a passport.
That's right.
Because I have you captive. In order for you to leave, you have to apply for a passport. Let me know when you leaving and when you are
Coming back.
coming back. That's a requirement for you to get a passport.
Yep.
Because if you don't follow this now, you broke something you told me that you was going to do. Right? But what shows you are in captivity, yet you are free, as you call it. You're not truly free when you can walk upon the face of this earth without nobody's permission. That's freedom.
That's right.
So I want y'all to get in y'all mind, even though you may not be in shackles and chains, but I got you in shackles and chains of mind.
That's right.
Because you can't freely walk. Y'all feel what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So think about this. He's saying, I want you to build houses. Lee, tell me what else I can do in captivity, Lee.
Take ye Nashim and beget Beni and Banu,
Man, we can marry who we want to marry.
and take Nashim for your Beni and give your Banu to your husbands.
Oh, man. Get them husbands, give them over to people. It ain't giving you no stipulation. Because you know at first we had only person we could marry was what? Inside our tribe, right? But if we disperse in captivity, we ain't going to be together no more. So in order to us to preserve our race, we got to do what we got to do in order to survive. Right? Right?
Yes, sir.
But what happens is, while you're surviving, you're losing the original commandments, what you're still supposed to do in your law. When that get caught up, now you all the way drawn out there. Because I got to give you some rules to get in captivity to survive, but don't get so caught up when you don't forget who your creator is. Because don't forget, I got to come back and get you. I can't come back and get you if you're wrong.
Yeah.
I got to leave you where you at. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Marry you wives. What else, Lee?
And give your Banu to husbands, that they may bear Beni
Yep.
and Banu, that ye may be increased there and not diminished.
Y'all see that? That you may increase and not diminish. Because if you don't do it, what's going to happen? You're going to die off. All the things you want to fight, you're going to end up dying off in captivity. You're not going to last the 70 years or whatever years I say that I'm going to get you. It ain't going to last. That's how I know we got a creator that's smart above all. Because yet, setting you a seed that's going to keep you going even though I got you in a situation. That's crazy. It's crazy in thinking, but I harbor it because I know he shall come and get me, yet I'm still in captivity. But I can't get caught up with these people a hob. I can't do it. Because if I do it, I'm going to forget the creator. I'm going to forget the purpose while we're here. That's what we do sometimes. They give you a little money, you'll forget everything you done did. I know some people, they do it right now. Hey, man, can you do this, man? Man, I'll do whatever. I said, you got a sick mind. When you don't have no standard within yourself, that you got some boundaries to say, I'm not going to do this, you got a sick mind.
Yeah. Right.
You said you'll sell your booty hole and your soul. And you may get 2 for 1.
That's right.
Tight.
Right.
I mean, I'm just serious, man.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Here's some stuff. I be in business. I said, man, you can kiss my, what? Listen. Get gone. You understand what I'm saying?
Sir.
But how bad do you want it? You want this 10,000? I know where you can make 10,000, but you got to do this. I can't do it, bro. I'm gonna stay with my 70 cell. No Jackman, like on Mario, he said they can't come and jack me for my cell. Tell my 70 cell. And when Mario got that check, what what, $77? He'll buff on the floor. Me and my buffer.
Yes, sir.
Me and my buffer, we gonna go all the way. Take my check home, Jimmy. Let me get off, man. That was one of my favorites. That was my preacher cut down Martin, man. That's tight, man.
That's tight.
That's my raw, man. But that's Martin, baby. Best sitcom out there.
Yes, sir.
Might be right here, but Jerry Seinfeld.
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
say it myself.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
But you gotta understand how to operate in captivity without selling your soul or your booty hole.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Continually.
And seek the shalom of the city, whither I have caused you to be carried away captive,
That's
and palau unto Yahuwah for it.
Yep.
For in the shalom thereof shall ye have shalom.
Y'all see that? Yet in captivity, we still supposed to have shalom. We gotta have peace. Why you think Mordaki, he went in there and he had to fight? Because guess what? He ain't had no peace.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm in captivity, but Haman is trying to kill me and my people
Yeah.
and hang us among gallows.
Yeah.
Hell no, because that's not what Most High Yahuwah told me.
Right.
He said I'm supposed to prosper, build my houses. Yeah, I gotta live in shalom.
Yeah.
You can't take that from me. That's why they got their declaration of what they call it,
Independent.
independence, where it say all men. What does it say?
Declaration of Independence.
All men are created equal,
We hold
Right.
this truth to be self-evident
self-evident.
that all men are created.
At the end of the day, they try to tell you still got the right to do what you want to do, but yet they still got us in captivity.
That's right.
Right? I know we ain't got nowhere to run to. I know, man. Listen, man. I don't get too far, but Lee, read that verse 10.
Yes, sir. But thus said Yahuwah, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon,
Yes.
I will visit you
Yes.
and perform my two debar toward you
Yep.
in causing you to return to this Malkum. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you,
Yep.
said Yahuwah, thoughts of shalom and not of Rasha,
Yep.
to give you an expected end. Then shall ye call upon me,
Yep.
and ye shall go and palau unto me, and I will shama unto you.
That's right.
And ye shall seek me and find me, when ye shall search for me with all your love.
Yes.
And I will be found of you,
Yep.
said Yahuwah. And I will turn away your captivity,
Yes.
and I will gather you from all the Guim and from all the Malkum, whither
Yep.
I have driven you.
Now, when we hurt, who do we turn to? We turn back to our Maker.
Right.
We don't. But what we do, we turn back to their system
Right. Right.
and say, "Save me." It don't work like that.
That's right.
Only thing I can give you is shalom with somebody that's persecuting you at that time. But I can't totally save you. But if Yahuwah saying, if you call unto me, I'm going to turn back to you. Because guess what? I got a zakar, what I said when I sent you in there.
Right.
But if you don't do your deal and you don't cry unto me,
Right.
hey,
That's right.
it is what it is. You get what I'm saying? So when we deal with go back to Hadassah, a star, chapter 4, we'll read that. And Chris, you get that.
Yes, sir.
And then Lee, you jump back over. And I want you to give me Ozra chapter 10. This is Hadassah chapter 4. And Ali, I'm sorry, Ali, you're going to jump over and give me Ozra chapter 9. At verse 9. Ozra 9 and 9. That's the wrong book. Nah, but see, that's the thing, Jesse. They got to go to a certain book. But sometimes they got to go in another book to pull this right chapter. Oh, they in the Apocrypha? That's tight. No, that's what I'm saying. To the eye, right? No, it's good. It's good. Because sometimes people, if you go search, you may think you're looking for something, but you got to go to another chapter because it's not written how we got it here, right? So sometimes you got to go to the chapter before or the book before to go here. I'm just going to tell you how it is because Like when preachers say go to Malachim Aleph, we got to go to Malachim 4. I'm like, what? But it just, this is what we got to do to search to find it out and have things right for you, right? But check this out. This is, Chris, you hold that. Lee, you go ahead and give me Oswald chapter 9 at verse 9. A lot of people they about to die on me. I ain't gonna let them die out on me. All right? This is Oswald chapter 9 at verse 9. Listen to this first.
For we were bondmen, yet our Elohim had not forsaken us in our bondage.
Hold on now. Now to put it in captivity now, Oswald talked about Babylon in chapter 5 earlier before they went into captivity. Yet, he's talking outside of captivity right now. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
In chapter 9.
You're right.
So when you're dealing with Oswald covering many Malaks.
That's right.
Many history lessons.
That's right.
But you look at Oswald and you think Oswald is just in a time period. Don't do that. Oswald, he was a skilled what?
Scribe.
Because he knows timelines, he knows scripts,
That's
everything.
Right.
He understood about books. That's why, that was Daniel, but he understood, that's why he can cover so many Malaks. So when you want to get into a history lesson and you really want to learn, Oswald's going to walk the dog on you. You be sitting back like, that dog just cover Cyrus, Darius, what in the world? He back in Babylon. And you'll think, you know what the people say? The Bible is a hypocrite and it contradicts. You just don't know how to write divide and put things in timeline.
That's right.
Because you would have thought Esther and Yirmiyahu was talking about two different times. But they gave you the same Malak in the same time period on what they was talking about. Right?
Right.
It told you how to operate. So now we're dealing with Oswald chapter 9 at verse 9. Go ahead, Lee.
For we were Abadim, yet our Elohim had not forsaken us in our bondage, but had extended Rakam unto us in the sight of the Malachim of Persia.
Y'all see that? Listen, y'all. Persia has always had our back. The Malaks of Persia, they always give us leeway and freeway to do what we want to do.
You're right.
But the Greeks hated them. But the Greeks, on the other hand, they always had a foot in our neck. So when people talk about Persia, just think about, who do you think gave, who was that? He gave the letters to go build Jerusalem.
Alexander Xerxes.
Exactly. Artaxerxes gave Nakum Yah letters to go build Jerusalem.
That's right.
And told him, go find gold, whatever you find, use it. Man, listen, let me tell you. Let me tell you how businessman Artaxerxes is and Nakum Yah is, right? Your king, the person that holds you captive, they're not going to give you nothing. He told Nakum Yah, he said, listen, I want you to go find all the gold you can find. Use that, sell it, and do what you got to do with it. So therefore, it's a lot of gold out here, but we just got to go find it and get it and do what we got to do to make it happen to get up out of here. They're not going to give you nothing. Y'all understand what I'm saying? But they're going to give you some tools and give you some nuggets to say, hey, man, if you find that, bro, that's the way to do what you got to do to get where you got to be. So whenever we be able to free, we out of here. Y'all, we don't have no money right now. If they told us to get up out of here, we don't know where to go and we don't know how to get there.
That's right. That's right.
They tell you right now, Alexander Boston, Christopher Cosby, Gerald, Lancaster, and Sarah, you are free to go. Leave.
Where we going to go?
Where we going?
That's right. How we going to get there?
Where we going? What plane we leaving on?
That's right.
So we finna sit our behind down right here. 1419. Synagogue. I mean, keep it real, y'all. We speak freedom, but we don't operate in it. What you gonna do? That's why white folks sit back and laugh at you.
Yeah.
You talking about what you want? All right, there you go. Here you go. What you want? I want 40 acres in the mule. Do you know why the reason why they say you want 40 acres in the mule? 40 acres in the mule. You know why they say 40 acres in the mule? Because that declares you a free man. When you got 40 acres in the mule, that you a free man. That declares you a free man. That's why they always say, I want my 40 acres in the mule. Right? I want my freedom. Because when you leave slavery, you have to leave with something.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's what Artaxerxes talked about. I can't just tell you to go. I got to give you something and get out. Mizraim, what we left with? We left with something.
That's right.
You can't leave slavery and go and operate, and now you got to go out and trade. What you going to do? We got to fight and take everything. But we left out of Mizraim with something. That's right. You get what I'm saying? To be able to operate. Yes, so you always got to have something. So there's no way you can be in captivity and you don't have nothing. The book told you, he said, go build you houses. You ain't even got no house to build. Why? Because we got no land. In order to land, we got to go get a permit from these people. Right? We got to go get drawings. Get permission for them to build on my own property. And then when I pay off my house, you still tax me yearly.
That's right. That's right.
You never free.
That's right.
I own the house and you gonna tax me yearly?
That's right.
I want to have my own house. Technically, 80% of us, we get mortgages, so therefore we back in debt. Then we pay that off. Then we're going to get them the interest over that to get them another house. It's funny, when I sit down, man, I sat down, Kayla. You know, Kayla, I'm glad you laughed, Kayla. I'm glad Kayla laughed. Because you know what I'm planning on doing right now? I think I'm going to buy a house in Tennessee. You know why? Because Tennessee has one of the cheapest houses right now. And I go on this website. It's called payscale.com. It tells you how much you need to make, and if you stay in this land, where you need to make it at. And they say if you make $50,000, this way your money will last longer at. And Tennessee, one of them places. Because the median mortgage in Tennessee is about $700 to $900. I think it's under $1,000. I looked it up. It's what? You pay $600 mortgage. I'm going. Y'all see that? Yeah. He pays $650 mortgage. Somebody just tried to find a one-bedroom apartment. It was $1,000 minimum. $600? Bro, let me get 3 houses. What? I'm like Monopoly. I want the whole corner. Rent. Show me where Boardwalk at. I actually talked to somebody in Mississippi. I said, man, how much is your house? They said I paid $440,000 for my house. Man, listen, they got about an 8-bedroom. I mean, oh my goodness. Mississippi, I talked about y'all leave, but listen, boy. But I thought about it. I say, how can my money last longer? Mm-hmm. What we do, we make less and try to survive with the riches of the rich. Yeah. That's a dream to have, but you're not making it.
That's right. That's right.
So you actually got to live with your means. So I'm like, hold on now. I need to take, because that's what people in Africa who come from Africa do. They get money and they send it back home. And they build houses. Because they make the money here, but over there, they're king. Right? But I don't want to jump off subject. But I'm just showing y'all, when you leave captivity, you got to leave with something. Right?
Yes, sir.
You got to leave with something. But you got to know how to flip that. You got to know how to use that and say, okay, look, this one I'm going to do. Do this, do that, do that. Because I still got a dream. I want a condominium over the horizon of Atlanta. I want to get out like on Power. Get out of the elevator. You walk to your house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know, y'all. This is what I'm dreaming. This is what I want.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want no HOA. I'm going to have HOA, but this is how I'm living.
Right.
This is my life. This is how I want to live. Right? Thank you. That's why I don't know why I ordered the new Tesla. I paid $100 down in my head. I said, well, I got to get it. Y'all saw the new Tesla? Man, that thing nice. It's a Tesla truck. Drive by itself, put in GPS and just drive. Mm-hmm. And they say right now, put $100 down. When it comes, then you worry about that later. Somewhere in 2020. You know what I did? I said, you put $100. Make me feel good.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I got something to strive for. So if my son got the Tesla in 2022, that's broke. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But back to the story. When you leave captivity, you got to have something to leave out of here with. Right? So this is Oswald chapter 9 and verse 9. Lee, continue where you left off at.
But hath extended Recom unto us in the sight of the Malachim of Persia to give us a reviving, to set up the bed of our Elohim,
There it is.
and to repair the desolations thereof,
That's right.
and to give us a wall in Yehuda and in Jerusalem.
That's right.
And now, O our Elohim, what shall we say after this? For we have forsaken thy Amar.
So listen, in captivity, he gave you favor in captivity, and he's asking the question, shall we forsake your Amar? Shall we forsake your commandments, as they call it? After you have given us this? Go ahead, Lee.
Which thou hast Amar by thy Abadim, the Nabaim, saying, the Aratz, the land unto which ye go to possess it, is an unclean land with the filthiness of the arm of the lands, with their abominations, which have filled it from one end to another with their uncleanness.
Now, he made a stipulation. He said, now the land you with is still unclean and filthy. Yet you're in captivity, but just know where you're going, right? Now, next verse.
Now therefore give not your Banuth unto their Beni, neither take their Banuth unto your Beni,
Yep.
nor seek their Shalom
Yep.
or their wealth forever, that ye may be strong and eat the tube of the land, and,
Go ahead.
and leave it for an inheritance to your Benin forever.
Now, you see how he's switching it up now? Now, those people he told you to get, he said, you can't do this in the land where you're going now. Y'all got to make a separation right now. So what y'all did, y'all can't do it no more. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So you think, I can marry who I want to marry. Nah, man, 'cause look, they're going to turn you away. That's why you got to get in the system. That's why the book say, I allow that you not take them out of the world, that you not take them out of the world, but that you what? Keep them from the evil.
That's right.
That goes to show you you can yet be in the world, but not of the world.
That's right.
Y'all follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But we be of the world and in the world and trying to be outside the world and dwell with him. You can't do it. You can't have your cake and eat it too. If you ask me what that means, I don't know.
That's right.
I don't know what that means.
No,
I can have my cake and eat it too. I haven't figured it out, but it just goes well in speeches.
it does.
So I'm gonna use it. All right. But yet now he's switching the game, saying you can't do this no more. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Because they'll turn you away. Right? If I made a covenant with somebody growing up, right, it's gonna be hard to turn somebody from that covenant, from that agreement. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So you gotta watch who you put yourself with. Because we don't have the time to go get. But remember, Shamshun, who he was going to marry, they threatened her. They said, if you don't tell me the riddle, I'm going to burn you and your father's house. So what does that tell you? At the end of the day, my allegiance is not going to be to my mate. It's going to be to my father's house. So you got to be wise who you go with.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they make some deep commitments that you don't know not of.
Yeah.
And you're living and you're trying to make a marriage or relationship work, and the commitments is deeper than what you think.
Yeah.
But yet, before he married them, right, he told her, the Abba and the Aim told her, it's not nobody among our own people
That's right.
that you got to go get somebody of another nation, right? They told her that. But it was all the plans of the Most High Yahuwah to set occasion against them. That's why it had to happen. I just asked Yahuwah, if I'm a part of your plan to take these people down, just take me with you. Because Shamshun was used right? To take him down, to marry her, to get something in his heart, to do something, tear they behind up. But yet, he just asked Yahuwah, just give me the strength one more time to tear all these people away.
Yeah.
Just give me the strength to stay with you. That's all I ask. Because sometimes you don't know what you're being used for. I'm sorry. Some of y'all don't even have the power of your own basar. Yahuwah can take you and say, I want you to, we nothing but pawns, y'all. Jahid talked about it. Listen, we all in this place just like this. If you don't say Yahuwah, just keep my mind. Because he'll give you all the riches and you be sitting there like, man, the money coming, but where I'm at in his will. So I constantly come back and consider. Because when everything popping, right? Am I plowing how I used to plow? Man, when I was making $9 at all in one, listen, I was on my knees every morning. Because I got tired of catching that train with them bases. Ain't nothing wrong with martyr, but sometimes you want your own shalom.
Right.
You want to sit down and have the right now to say, bro, you can't sit right here. Brother, nigga, you made the seat. I got to argue with this man. Dog, take the seat, dog. I'm going to go sit over here. Then I sit right here. I got another nigga that got on pants below his behind, holding on all in my face. He rocking. And I'm sitting here like, dang, dog. Yahuwah, take me, please. Boy, I used to be crying. Boy, I used to be, I had my Bible out. I mean, my Bible at the time. I'm reading it on the train. I'm dedicated. Break time. I got my Sephora out. You know what I'm saying? I'm with my Akita White. Girl was reading during break time. Dwight walked up to her and said, understanding what thou readest? I'm in my office days like, oh, come on, dog. I'm trying to make it out of here. And Dwight is cutting people down in the office. She reading her own Bible.
That's right.
Understanding what thou readest? Bro, I'm in my office. I'm just sitting here like, bro. I was plowing, Chris. I said, you got me here, but I'm still going through. I used to be in my office, man. Girl walk in there and say, bossy, hell no. You better come get Riley. I said, what Riley did? He gonna call and you talk on, you ready to submit? I said,
That's right.
man, listen, man. I'm at my desk like, why? Please. Y'all hurting me. Y'all not helping me. Come back, Riley. Fine now. Riley, close the door. Like, Riley, what you doing? I said, what? I didn't say that. I said, I'm looking for a woman that's willing to submit. That's what you said, right, Riley? That's what he said, but she came off as like, what? I'm like, come on, man. But I said that to say, in my captivity, y'all, I was trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? Then I got Danny sleeping on the cars.
Good.
I'm like, Danny, why are you on the cars? Ivan was on the steps. I said, man, listen, man. I was just about to quit just to say, man, just give it up. Because it's not for me. It's just one for me. Yeah, humpback scratched the Mercedes with the bike. You know the handlebars don't have that little thing on it. Touch pen. I'm like, man, I was in that corporate meeting, man. They said, who is this guy, Joshua Smith? Man, listen, I said, I was like, and those people that know they're in synagogue, they look at me, and I'm looking like, I don't know who that is. I'm saying, like, man, it's tight, man, Joshua Smith. They said, if he had one more accident, he got to be fired. He falling off bikes. I said, bro, you don't know how to rock. Man, listen, I had to rub y'all. But I say that to say, y'all, listen, man, I said in my I was plowing, I was earnest like Yahuwah. When you didn't have your earnest in your tent, right? But when you start making it, you start losing the things that got you to this point. What causes you to forget what was your creator that got you there? You understand what I'm saying? So even when you make it, you got to align yourself back with your creator. That's why the book say, order my steps in the bar, right? Always think on him. In all our ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct the rock. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to do it. So when things are going bad, the same way you got to pull out, you got to do it. In Shalom. I'm getting ready to end, but I want you to finish that, Lee.
Yes, sir. Verse 13. And after all that is come upon us for our rasher deeds and for our great trespass, seeing that thou, our Elohim, hast punished us less than our iniquities deserve, and hast given us such deliverance as this, should we again break thy Amar and join in affinity with the arm of these abominations? Wouldst not thou be angry with us till thou hast consumed us, so that there should be no remnant nor escaping? O Yahuwah Elohim of Yasharal, thou art Sadiq, for we remain yet escaped, as it is this Yom. Behold, we are before thee in our trespasses, for we cannot stand before thee because of this. Chapter 10. Now when Azarah had Palau, and when he had confessed, weeping and casting himself down before the Beth of Elohim, there assembled unto him out of Yasharal a very great Adah of Anashim and Nashim and Benim, for the arm wept very sore. And Shechaniah, the ben of Yahiel, one of the Beni of Elam, answered and said unto Azarah, we have trespassed against our Elohim.
Y'all see that?
And have taken strange Nashim of the arm of the land. And yet now there is your call in Yasharal concerning this thing. Now therefore let us make a berith with our Elohim to put away all the Nashim and such as are born of them, according to the counsel of Ma'adan, and of those that tremble at the Amar of our Elohim.
Y'all see that? He said, nah, this time we're going to put away everybody that's against what Elohim wants us to do. Even though he said, I want you to get them, now it's time to put that stuff away. Will you have the power to be in captivity and be given something, but when it's time to leave it there? What you worked your whole life to get, the relationship you worked your whole life to do and please, when it's time to leave, you can't take this with you, and you got to cut it off right now before you leave.
All right. All right.
I'm not asking you to answer this today, but just be ready to answer. Because you know what? That's how I challenge myself daily. Those you have nothing to lose. Those you have a lot, you have a lot to lose. Those you have little, yet that little you have, you still got to be able to lose it. If he say you got to get away from it. We get tested daily on little stuff, and we still don't tear it down. And we think that Elohim will overlook it. My Aki and my Aku, it will not happen. Because the same way that they went into captivity, right? The same way they had to go out. But when they got out, they can't do the same thing that they did there. Even though he said I could do it. Because you know why? It turned your law off. So in this days of rest, I want you guys to consider the things you have and the things you should be able to rest from. And the reason why some things you can't rest from, because these are things that keep you going. Because you got to work to keep it. That's why you can't rest. Right? So rest not only you giving a rest from your enemies, but also sometimes you may become an enemy to yourself. Sometimes you your own enemy. Fighting against you and one side trying to save the other. But yet in your life, you are trying to save this life here, and everything that you got, you're trying to hold on to it. So not only are you trying to be rest from your enemies, but think about the stuff you're trying to hold on to keep. The things you got to make happen, things you got to make work. Right? Because when Yahushua went in, right, he rested. I ain't gonna count that against you, Justin. Don't worry about it, man. I dropped it sometime too, man. But just think about it. So when we are in these days of Purym, right, these are things you still have to consider and you have to evaluate your life. Yet going in, you can obtain, but when coming out, guess what? You got to be able to give it away, right? I'm just sitting here to give you some information and sit here to give you some things to consider in life. Things you may not take, things some of you all will take. But one thing you must know, we will leave we'll leave this body one day. Not only the captivity of the arash, but you have the captivity of the flesh. Because in this basar, we do groan. Mm-hmm. We have sicknesses, we have ailments, we have pains, right? And there's somebody inside that want to get away and go. You want to stay here because of the things you like, but guess what? There's something yearning inside got to get back to its creator and to its maker. At the end of the day, I may not be here next week, I may not be here next month, but I've allowed that the things that I do is in his will. Yet in this Tuladah, I'm here today serving with you all in this captivity, right? The ways we can get out together. Some people leave and say, you know what, I'd rather not do this in that captivity. I'd rather go ahead and have that success on our side, and whatever happens, happens. Because inside Shushan the palace, there was also Yahudim that kept Purym inside the walls, and then they set a decree that the people on the outside go out to keep it on the 14th and 15th day. That's why we keep it on the 14th and 15th day, because that decree went out for everybody that was outside the walls of Shushan the palace, right? But there were some people that kept it inside. Yet, whether you inside, whether you outside, you got to have shalom within yourself. Period. So when you sit down and you think about your life, and say, man, look, where do I stand? Like Lee do say, where do you stand? Where do you stand? That's my favorite part. Yeah. Hey. That took a lot of work, Lee. That was like 4 different heys. Hey.
Yes,
You know, but you have to consider, guys. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. Death doesn't have an age. You could be taken out here any time. You leave this captivity, where do you stand? Period. Some people believe in Yahushua, some people don't believe. They say, I'm going to go all out party, but yet they all meet together. That's what Kahala talk about. It don't care. The rich and the poor, they meet together in death. It don't matter. Young and the old, rich and poor, you meet together at one point.
They're right.
Yet, so in the day of prosperity, what you need to do? Rejoice. In the day of adversity, consider. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Purym. We still gonna have a good time. Why do we need to rejoice? Because you are alive today. You are still breathing right now. Yet to the living there is hope. You have hope. That's why we should be excited. I'm not dead. That's why I'm gonna have a good time doing Purym. Mm-hmm. But yet in my rest, I gotta realize that I still gotta get somewhere, and I got somewhere to go. Cause I got to be on time. Mm-hmm. Appreciate y'all. That is my time.
Yes, sir.
Something that I said, or something that your song can be considered.